This is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the breaking news, the chaotic scene unfolding, an explosion of gunfire erupting during a high school hockey game. Fans and players on the ice could be seen racing for cover. That is the sound of the gunfire inside. Police pouring over this live stream of the game that captured the horrific scene at the Dennis Lynch Arena in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. The gunfire, the panic tonight, at least 2 people killed. Authorities believe the shooter then took his own life. The gunman opening fire during the first period of the game with players on the ice, families in the stands. The FBI and ATF on the scene at this hour, and ABC's Rhiannon Alley leading us off tonight.
Tonight, the horror unfolding at a high school hockey game in Rhode Island. Authorities say a man opened fire, killing at least 2 people before shooting and killing himself. Police now reviewing this video. You can hear the deafening sound of about a dozen gunshots, sending crowds running in the stands and players scrambling on the ice.
We have 1 shooter down at the location. We have 5 injured.
Authorities racing to the scene at the Dennis Lynch Arena in Pawtucket around 2:30 p.m., finding multiple victims. Late today, officials say they believe the suspect may have been targeting his own family.
It appears that this was a targeted event, that it may be a family dispute.
Witnesses describing the chaos.
It was a very, scary moment, definitely for the parents. It was a bang. I thought it was a pops. I thought it was balloons at first, but it was not balloons.
At least 3 people were wounded. David, officials say all the players in that hockey game are safe tonight. The investigation is now underway as the FBI is assisting local authorities. David?
Rhiannon Alley leading us off tonight. Rhiannon, thank you. There are also new developments tonight in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. Late today, the sheriff saying all family members have been cleared in her disappearance, aware of the online chatter and speculation surrounding this case. Tonight here, investigators on a possible break in this case, that male DNA found on a glove. And Savannah Guthrie, the pain evident on her face, with a new post to the person who took her mother, as they now begin week 3 without their mother. Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotursky, in Tucson again tonight.
Tonight, with the search for Nancy Guthrie now entering its 3rd week, and with the country still praying she's found, her daughter Savannah is making a direct appeal to the person who took her mother. 2 weeks of pain evident on Savannah's face.
And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late. And you're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. We believe. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being. And it's never too late.
The Today Show host who has spoken of the nightmare her family's going through, hoping the kidnapper will consider giving her mother back.
Because we're into week 3, the idea that you could keep anybody held for that long a time is a real strain on whoever might have her. And so as a result, they may just say, okay, we're just going to give up and release her. It never hurts to say those things.
And tonight, authorities acknowledging online chatter and speculation that has at times focused on Guthrie's extended family and that has taken a toll too. The Pima County Sheriff saying, to be clear, the Guthrie family, to include all siblings and spouses, has been cleared as possible suspects in this case. The family has been nothing but cooperative and gracious and are victims in this case. To suggest otherwise is not only wrong, it is cruel. The Guthrie family are victims, plain and simple. The FBI is now testing male DNA lifted from a glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home that appears to be a similar kind of glove to what was seen in that video from Guthrie's front door. They will now put that DNA into a national database, comparing it to more than 22 million samples, most from criminals. The glove containing DNA was found right around here. We're about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home, along a major thoroughfare close to her neighborhood and the fastest route out of town. That glove is one of 16 picked up during roadside searches. Most authorities believe were discarded by investigators combing the area. We saw another glove just today. What's different about the glove they're testing is the FBI does think it's similar to the gloves of the man at the door.
It's just like fingerprints. If we have your fingerprint on file, then, it's going to be a match or a quick match. If we don't have your fingerprints on file, it would take a long time. Same with DNA.
Investigators will also determine whether DNA recovered on the property, DNA that is not Nancy Guthrie's or her family's, matches the glove.
We've gotten DNA back, and that's why I say, well, they already have the genetic markers of those that we think had access to the home, rightfully so, the family, the landscapers, the pool guy.
And tonight, the search involving the backpack and clothes the man was wearing. Investigators are now combing through Walmart's surveillance footage and sales receipts, looking for the buyer of the Ozark Trail hiker backpack the suspect is seen wearing. Investigators say he may have also bought the clothing he wore that night at Walmart.
Backpack's a Walmart backpack, right? So
that's
can you
what I'm
trace the
understanding.
sale?
We're hoping. We have teams working on all of this stuff.
Friday night, authorities swooped in and detained a man about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home, searching his house and towing his Range Rover before letting him go. He's the second man questioned and released after a delivery man was stopped 50 miles away near the Mexican border. Sources tell ABC News investigators are leaning away from those 2 men as possible suspects. But tonight, Savannah is making it clear she's not giving up hope the kidnapper will bring her mother home.
It's never too late.
The DNA analysis is underway tonight on the glove. David, the results could be back within days. David?
As they now enter week 3, Aaron Katersky on this story again tonight. Aaron, thank you. We learned today that Oscar-winning actor Robert Duvall has died at the age of 95. His iconic roles in The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and so many other movies. And tonight, the role he once said was his favorite. And Al Pacino and Robert De Niro now remembering him tonight. Oscar-winning actor Robert Duvall was a Hollywood legend, his career spanning 7 decades. Known for his ability to disappear completely into his wide-ranging roles. The steely-eyed actor made his film debut in 1962, playing the reclusive Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird.
You'd like to say goodnight to Jim, Mr. Arthur?
His character did not speak once in the entire movie. Robert Duvall would go on to become a household name, playing opposite John Wayne in True Grit in 1969.
Well, Rooster, I'm shot to pieces.
Winning an Academy Award for Best Actor in Tender Mercies in 1984.
And let me rest my head for a while.
His iconic characters part of film history, 7 Oscar nominations.
Your father was business, not personal, Sonny.
You know how they're gonna come at you?
Playing the trusted family lawyer in the first 2 Godfather movies, alongside Al Pacino and Marlon Brando.
They shot Sonny on the causeway. He's dead.
Napalm, son.
And delivering one of the most memorable lines of all time as Lieutenant Colonel Bill Kilgore in Apocalypse Now.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
People come up to me on the street today like, I love the smell of napalm in the morning, like I never knew it and forgot it after I said it, like, ha ha ha. But I like that character, yeah. People call the guy crazy, which he wasn't. It's not crazy when it was in a life or death kind of perimeter.
This set belly aching.
There was the great Santini in 1979.
Will not affect the morale of the squadron henceforth. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir!
The Apostle in 1997, a movie he wrote, directed, and starred in. He considered his role in the TV series Lonesome Dove his favorite.
Rye, or what'll it be, old-timer? Rye will do, provided it gets here quick.
Tonight, Robert Duvall's wife sharing this image of them on their Virginia farm, saying he passed away peacefully at home, surrounded by love and comfort at the age of 95. Tonight here, Robert Duvall in his own words.
The day will come when you call it quits. So whenever that comes, it comes. But, until that time comes, you try to live life to the fullest.
He was an incredible actor. Tonight, both Al Pacino and Robert De Niro paying tribute. Pacino saying Duvall was a born actor with a phenomenal gift. De Niro saying, God bless Bobby. I hope I can live till I'm 95. May he rest in peace. We move on tonight. We are tracking 2 dangerous storms hitting in the west. Heavy rain, thunderstorms, possible flooding and strong winds in California. Up to 8 feet of snow in the mountains. Streets already underwater in parts of Brentwood, California tonight. And a second storm right behind it. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z with us here on a Monday night. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. A series of storms, really. We've already seen up to 2.5 inches of rain today in Southern California. That's why we've got those flood alerts from Santa Maria to San Diego. But you notice that there are wind advisories and even high wind watches all the way over to the plains. So it's going to be this series of storms that comes through with a little oomph, as it has. And tomorrow afternoon is when you see the next band of heaviest rain makes its way through Southern California. That snow you mentioned, easily 5 to 7 feet in the Sierra Nevada, where they desperately need to improve their snowpack. The Rockies, too, they'll take every snowflake they can get. And then ahead of this, we've got red flag warnings, low humidity from South Dakota to New Mexico. David?
Ginger Z with us tonight. We'll see you first thing in the morning. Thanks, Ginger. Tonight here, new fallout involving the Jeffrey Epstein files. Another big name now stepping down from his job over his ties to Epstein. Here's Rachel Scott.
Tonight, with the Department of Justice announcing no more Epstein files will be released, new fallout. Hyatt's executive chairman, billionaire Tom Pritzker, now becoming the latest leader to announce he will be stepping down because of his ties to the convicted sex offender. In a letter to the Hyatt board, the 75-year-old writing, "Good stewardship also means protecting Hyatt, particularly in the context of my association with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, which I deeply regret." Pritzker saying he exercised terrible judgment, adding, "There is no excuse for failing to distance myself sooner." Those recently released files revealing Pritzker, who is the cousin of Illinois Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker, continued to keep in contact with Epstein even after he pled guilty to sex crimes in 2008. His departure, the latest corporate shakeup following the resignation of a top lawyer at Goldman Sachs, Kathleen Rumler, who referred to Epstein as Uncle Jeffrey in an email released by the DOJ. And the LA executive named chair of the 2028 Olympics, Casey Wasserman, now selling his talent agency after he was named in the files too. Multiple celebrity clients dropping him. He still hopes to chair the next Olympics in Los Angeles. Both have expressed regret over their association with Epstein. The DOJ telling Congress the department released all records, documents, communications, and investigative materials in its possession in compliance with the law. Victims outraged. And now Hillary Clinton, just days before she and her husband, former President Bill Clinton, are set to testify behind closed doors in a Republican-led investigation into Epstein, speaking out. She has told the Republican chairman to stop the games, asking for a public hearing, cameras on, and now telling the BBC in an interview excerpt published online that she believes others should testify in front of Congress.
I think everybody should testify who is asked to testify. I just want it to be fair. I want everybody treated the same way.
The Clintons have not been accused of any wrongdoing. Meanwhile, back here at the White House, there is still no deal between Republicans and Democrats to end the partial government shutdown. TSA workers now going without pay, and with lawmakers out of town on recess, there is no end in sight, David.
Rachel Scott tracking both stories for us tonight. Rachel, thank you. Tonight, a father is now on trial in Georgia after buying his son the AR-15 style rifle that son allegedly used to kill 2 students and 2 teachers. Prosecutors arguing Colin Gray ignored warning signs before the 2024 shooting at Appalachia High School, saying he gave his son the rifle for Christmas after being asked by authorities to restrict his access to guns. The defense arguing Gray was not to blame and sought help for his son's mental health. Tonight, a federal judge now ordering the slavery exhibit to be restored to the president's house in Philadelphia. The judge ruling that the Department of the Interior and the National Park Service must return all items safe and undamaged. The Trump administration had said the changes were done to align with, quote, shared national values. The judge ruling the changes to the exhibit were arbitrary. When we come back on this busy Monday night, a dramatic escape, a woman running out of a U-Haul, escaping, getting away from a man accused of trying to kidnap her, what we've learned. Also, there's been a massive house explosion, igniting several homes in the neighborhood, the rush to evacuate, and the deeply personal post just in tonight from the Quad God, what he's now revealing after that heartbreaking performance. A lot more news ahead here. Don't go away. Tonight, hear the dramatic moments as a woman escapes a U-Haul, getting away from an ex-boyfriend accused of trying to kidnap her. Surveillance cameras capturing the woman running into a store outside Pittsburgh. The woman telling police Kenneth Clark beat her and held scissors to her neck. Police arresting Clark after a chase. Clark is now charged tonight with kidnapping and assault. A home was leveled in a fiery explosion, prompting dozens of home evacuations in Centerville, Virginia. Fire crews rushing to the home as flames spread to nearby homes as well. 2 people suffered minor injuries, including one man who climbed out of a second-story window to escape. Officials say a gas leak fueled the blast. In Oklahoma City, a trooper jumped out of the way, narrowly avoiding a crash. The dash cam video here showing a minivan barreling down the H.E. Bailey Turnpike, slamming into that patrol car. The trooper and a Turnpike Authority worker had just dashed to the median moments before that crash. The two had been diverting traffic because of a nearby fire. 3 people in the van were injured. When we come back tonight, the 6-year-old girl smashing records. You won't believe how many Girl Scout cookies she has now sold, and her secret tonight. Also this evening, we are just now hearing from the Quad God, what he's revealed after that disastrous and heartbreaking performance at the Olympics. To the index of other news tonight, a college basketball player has now been suspended following a chaotic brawl. Tempers flaring between St. John's and Providence over the weekend, the fight erupting after Duncan Powell's hard foul on Bryce Hopkins. Hopkins going up for a layup, Powell appearing to put his hands around Hopkins' head and neck. Tonight, Powell has now been suspended for 3 games. A very sweet milestone tonight for a Girl Scout smashing the cookie-selling record. 6-year-old Pim from Pittsburgh has now sold more than 100,000 boxes of Girl Scout cookies just this season. Her online cookie counter off the charts tonight. Pim's strategy, we're told, going door to door, handing out flyers, also helping her adorable TikTok videos. Pim's dad tonight describing her as, quote, unstoppable. When we come back here, Team USA also unstoppable. The big news involving the women's hockey team tonight. And then this deeply personal message tonight from the Quad God, what he has just revealed about that heartbreaking performance. We're going to go to Italy in a moment here.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Vivgard Hytrulo.
The Winter Games, big news tonight for the women's hockey team, and the very personal words from the Quad God. Janae Norman is in Italy. Janae?
David, Team USA scored a trip to the gold medal match. The women's hockey team dominating Sweden, setting up a chance to take home gold for the first time since 2018. And the United States won gold and bronze in the monobob event. With that gold, Alana Myers-Taylor now becomes the most decorated Olympic women's bobsledder. But amid the celebrations, also some bitter disappointments here at the Winter Games. Ilya Malinin, who failed to medal Friday, addressing his poor performance where he fell multiple times during his routine. The 21-year-old posting on social media, on the world's biggest stage, those who appear the strongest may still be fighting invisible battles on the inside, adding, it all builds up as those moments flash before your eyes, resulting in an inevitable crash. Malinin will be back out on the ice Saturday, David, and we'll be cheering him on.
We definitely will be. Janae Norman in Italy for us today. Thank you. And thank you at home for watching. I'm David Muir, and of course, we'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Good night.
David Muir, the most trusted anchor in America, the most watched anchor in America. Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir the #1 newscast in America.
For just $49, you can create unlimited, hyper-realistic live-action videos like these, and you never have to pick up a camera or use any fancy editing software.